So, hello and welcome everybody to the Skill Bharat Samman. And today we have an awardee, Miss Nafisa. Our audience would love to interact with you and to know a bit more about you, your school, and what you've been doing so far.
Thank you, Shreyaan. It's a pleasure to be here. We understand that our students today, they need to be prepared for the future. And future is extremely unpredictable. We can prepare our students to learn and unlearn and be ready for the same. Right. So in that area, skill development takes up an important aspect in our school curriculum. We need to ensure that we are equipping the students with the kind of skills which are required, which will make them future ready, as we call them as the 21st century skill.
Right.
So we do little things in our school to support the same.
Ma'am, can you tell us a bit about your school name, where is it located, how many kids come?
Sure. We are located in Kolkata, MSB Educational Institute. It is a chain of schools. We have these schools all over India. In fact, there are some internationally present as well. This works under a mission and vision, which is laid down by our founder and presently headed by a religious leader, Sayyidina Ali Qadar Mufaddal Saifuddin Tawalla Umrah Sharif Layawmuddin. He guides us towards equipping students with these skills which keep them rooted to the culture, to the values. And at the same time, we want to give our students the kind of things which are required in today's time so that they can globally compete. As we all know, our students are global citizens. Today, the world is becoming narrower in terms of connection. We're extremely connected. So these are few things that we believe in.
Wow.
And as I said, our school is located in Kolkata, West Bengal. Yes, please.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Absolutely. So, ma'am, like when we talk about skills, it's very easy to use that word, but you guys are actually implementing and teaching these kids the skills. So, I like the audience would love to know, like, what all skills do you implement in your school and how do you implement it? And any
Yes,
exceptional, like one exceptional story that you have got from your students while they were learning some skills.
all right. So yes, actually, this is used like an educational jargon these days. We all talk about skills. When it comes to practically implementing the same thing, we need to take active actions for the same. So what we've done, one thing, we are all aware of this Genius R. It is widely practiced in Google as a corporate, where they set aside some time of their employees so that they can invest in doing something which they would like to pursue, and it has a purpose. That means in it should do good, it should solve an existing problem. So we've created an hour of this kind in our school. We call it as Genius Hour. And here we allow our students to pursue something which they choose. We give them, of course, a lot of hand holding. We show them things that they can do. We give them a proposal form. And we've implemented this since last year. So there was one child and had an exceptional journey in terms of sketching, as simple as and basic skill as that. And there were students who aspired to become engineers, architects. So they started somewhere with research. So it could be something research based. They are investing a certain amount of time on a daily basis for this particular skill. And we take weekly logs, and fortnightly we ask our students as to how much have they been able to do. So to help them do this, we also give them self-organizers, because the best discipline is the self-discipline. The intrinsic motivation which should come to students, the sense of achievement that they should get.
Correct.
Right. So these are few things we do.
Wow. You know, I'm really thinking like in a school, like I went to a school where it was very simply like just do math, science, English, Hindi, and your social studies, and then that's it. Right. Apart from that, whatever your interests are, go home, take tuitions, take extra classes, don't come to our school. But a school like yours is actually out there, like a genius hour is like something that will actually hit everyone's mind, and they for sure some of them will even try and learn from you, make you as an example, and grow from that. So that's a really great practice you all are doing.
Thank you so much. We also encourage our students to participate in entrepreneurship programs such as Think Startup. They are doing a commendable job,
Okay.
and they do offer some programs for the students, and we encourage our students to participate in the same. And other than that, there are small things, which make a lot of difference. So the creative writing and critical thinking skills that we talk about, it all comes like at school. Back then, we were very scared of one thing, and that is assessments.
Hmm.
That's like the elephant in the room, and we all need to address it. And it's all talking about exams. But here, what we try to do is we try to do formative assessment where we give the students choice. It's differentiated, so they have the liberty of choosing in which way would they like to present their learning. It
Okay.
could be in terms of PowerPoint, group talks, role plays, project work. So these are few arenas we give our students where they can project their learning. They can choose how they would like to be tested. And of course, ability grouping is also something that we look into for the same.
Interesting, interesting. So, ma'am, my second question to you is that what are your thoughts on, everyone's talking about AI, robotics, and, you know, coding for kids. But do you think kids in our time need it? Do you think we should teach them as kids, in the school times? Or what's on your mind for that sector, in the technology sector?
Yes, again, this is very interest based. So if we could provide our students with different kind of clubs or programs where they could choose what they want to do, robotics being one of them. Students, teachers are really interested. AI, definitely something like who knew about prompt engineering
Yeah.
today? That's the
Yeah.
thing that we all are talking about, right? And we want our students to become that. And maybe in by the time they graduate, this might be an old talk. There might be something else. So again, we come back to skills. They need to know how to adapt and learn and unlearn. So definitely, we need to provide the students with these kind of arenas, different kinds of skills set they can take up as per their interest. Eventually, they may choose whether they want to pursue in that particular field or not, but the choice should be given to them.
Yeah, absolutely. And as we talked a bit about entrepreneurship, like one thought, like, can kids actually be entrepreneurs, or is it just another word which we're saying like AI or like robotics? Like, can our students at that age, can they really build companies?
See, when we talk of entrepreneurship, we are not actually talking about companies. We are talking about entrepreneurship in terms of skill for the students.
Hmm.
So we need to equip our students with those kind of skills which are required to become an entrepreneur. And if you look at the child, who's the most fearless? It's the children. They do not have any limitations. But as we grow up, we start putting in limitations that this can
Yeah.
be done, this cannot be done. So if you're looking for a breakthrough idea, it can always come from the young minds who do not look at who look at possibilities, who do not look at obstacles, who know how to overcome. So then a little bit of guidance. What we need them is to incubate an idea, and that idea then can be supported and mentored by people whom we consider as more knowledgeable as such.
Absolutely. And now let's dive into the rapid fire questions. You have It's like a few questions and you'll have to answer in one word only. Okay. So my first question is if a child is having two exams at the same time. One is a board exam for the 10th grade, and one is a national level competition on a skill, like a swimming competition. So, which competition should the child go to? A or B?
Okay. All right. So that's really a choice, I think, which we need to allow our students to exercise. I
Okay.
mean, that's something they can always come back to. It doesn't mean that if you fail into something, it doesn't. You cannot come back to that. If they take up the swimming one, we have to allow them to choose. Children can do that choice for themselves.
But
We should not
if you were the child, what would you choose?
probably swimming.
Great. Okay. Uh, yeah. Second question is if you were given a choice to take up a degree or instead just learn the thing and actually implement it in real life? Which one would you do? Like, just study and take a degree, or actually learn, practically implement the learning?
This is a very easy answer. Obviously, the second choice, where we practically implement and learn, because the degrees, however good they be, but until they're put into action, they're of no use. They just remain in our cupboard on our shelves or maybe hung up on our walls.
Great. Should a student strive for stability, safety, or risk, and variability?
Calculated risks.
Calculated risks. Okay. Uh, as a student, if you went back to your school times and if you got a choice to learn something, what would that be?
I would definitely, back then, I would like to learn certain skills in terms of being able to think out of the box. We were never actually taught or taught how to do that. But now we are allowing our students to be different. It's okay. Earlier, we expected everybody to fall into the same parameter, treat it as a class, not as individuals. So I wish I was given more opportunities of those kind where I would be able to exercise my choice and choose what I would prefer to do, how I would like to be tested. So those are few things I really miss. I did not get the opportunities of these kind during my time.
Wow. That's a really nice. Like, usually people say I would like to dance or sing, and we thought if I was taught how to think differently or think out of the box, that's a very nice way to do it. So that's all. Thank you so much, ma'am. It was a really, really good session, and thank you for taking out time on a Sunday, your precious time, and giving it to us for this podcast. And I hope to see you very soon in the Skill Bharat Samman Awards.
Thank you so much, Ryan. I really appreciate that we are talking about actually skills. We are talking about things that really need our attention at this point of time. So I congratulate you all for taking up this task. It's
Thank
uphill
you.
task. Thank you very much. I enjoy being here.